After being shelved and painted, touched up, and cleaned, this frame is ready for its final detailing, and also the parts are cleaned and ready to go. Swapping out some bars to the Bontrager bars. And yes, I'm gonna do some upgrades with Dura-Ace wheel hubs with navigational programs on this beauty. So let's dive into this and finish her up. Welcome to I Know a Guy Bicycles.
Welcome to I Know a Guy Bicycles, hanging out with the guy. Hi, I'm Justin, the guy. Obviously, I have a garage shop. Taking scary out of used bikes one bike at a time.
If you like these videos, please like and subscribe. Welcome back to I Know a Guy Bicycles, hanging out with the guy on this old bike series. We are revisiting this LeMond Zurich. Yeah, when we first did the initial video on this bad boy, it was rough. I'm just not gonna lie about this. It was rough. The paint was rough. Need a lot of little touch up. I need to wait for nicer days to be able to do those touch-up bits. I repainted the fork to kind of match the colors. Yeah, I lose the decaling, the Bontrager, whatever, but quite honestly, a solid color versus what it was is a heck of a lot better visually than it is now. I'm pretty surprised I was able to find an automotive paint to match this pretty close. And as you probably may have seen some paint jobs out there on a lot of bikes, they do follow the same lines as auto part paints. You can get pretty close touch-ups from there. Plus it's a little bit higher grade, so if you're going to touch up your bike, you can use those. And I'm sure there's 100 million videos on touch-upping paint on cars and everything else, so you just kind of use those same practices and do it to your bike. So we're really not going to jump into actually the paint portion of this, but I'm going to do a little bit of featuring and detailing and putting the parts back on and seeing if there's anything that kind of sneaks up on me and catches me by surprise. Yeah, there's always something out there. To recap on the actual bike itself, this is a full carbon frame, carbon fork. LeMond bikes are typically known for their steel frames, which came out of the 80s and the 90s when Trek purchased them. And I ride one of the steel pop rods right now, cyclocross bikes. Kind of awesome little thing. Intrigued me to try out one of their carbons. I'm riding one of their Buenos Aires, which is actually right behind me. And it's the same year as this one, or pretty close. Pretty nice supple ride. I like the geometries of these. These are, bike brands. They're all different ones out there. And the only thing that makes them distinctly different is geometry, mainly. And there are some tech pieces to it, of course, but it actually does come down to the geometry because the parts are from Shimano or SRAM, the wheels are from Mavic or whatever. So you're really just looking at the frame. The forks are kind of mass-produced, slapped with different labels on them. Same thing with some of the wheels, like the Bontrager wheels and the raw, whatever the specialized ones are. I'm drawing a blank. But yeah, you can get the drift that there's a lot of white labeling going on in the industry as well. Like, the Bontrager stem, it's made by, chains are made by, you know what I'm going at. But back to the frame. Pretty cool, full carbon. I inspected it thoroughly. It doesn't seem like it's damaged anywhere. It did have some really pretty good scuffs on it, so I did definitely clean those areas out and retouched them up. Hopefully with a compound from Adam's Polish, in addition to finishing off with a polish. And I will try their new ceramic coating, which I just got. During the holiday sale, I decided to pick up a bottle of this. I haven't opened the box up yet. I'm going to try the ceramic coating. I've been using a different kind. I'll try a ceramic coating on this one. It's supposed to protect the frame, beads water better, mud comes off, that kind of thing. Light bulb in my head's like, well, bike frames usually go through a lot of crap because the cyclists ride through a lot of crap, rain, dirt, mud, whatever. Good detailing and a good protection to the frame might be something that we all should be considering as a part of a services on bikes. I have not seen anybody do any kind of detailing yet. If you have seen other bike shop people do that, or you do it yourself, put some comments below. Tell us what you use and how you use it, that kind of thing. Share it to the community, because detailing is something I've been kind of diving into and learning through the last year or two. And that's kind of like one of those fun things to add to my mix of things that I do. So add to my magic tune-up packages, I have that as well. So, you know, those kinds of things. It sounds like a promo, but it's not. It's just one of those things I'm just going to share my passion, right? Oh, back to this. Yeah, the kind of the scuffy things are kind of interesting. It was really kind of like nervous in the sense, a couple of those areas, but they're pretty strong. So I'm not going to worry about that too much. But diving into this, I need to glove up because, you know, protection is key, right? Pardon the interruption, there is more. More, you say? Push the more button. Push it. Push it. I dare you to push it. Once you push that button, you get more details about the video you are watching, in addition to all the tools that I use in the shop, as well as suggestion for improving your ride. In addition to help me provide advocacy in the cycling community, also links to other social media accounts as well as my website to find the products I actually sell and other insights in the industry. Other videos linked below. Extend your cycling experience here on YouTube. And now back to your original programming. All right, so I got my spectacles, old man, so I can actually see what the heck I'm doing, and adding some compound to their compound pad. Blue on blue, kind of cool little concept on that. Some of these areas, obviously, I'm not going to get out completely. I'm not here to restore it to its original manufacturing paint. I'm just making it look a lot better and more showroom quality-ish. There's going to be some bits out there that are going to be just not quite right, but in a sense, it's still, the frame is solid. It's just, you know, I just wanted the paint job to be a little bit nicer, so it's not kind of that glaring, like, ugly ass chip. Yeah, so anyway, so we're gonna dive into this and see what we got. Check it out. All right, I'm just going to do a section here to show you what's a possible end result's going to look like. Reason being is it takes a little bit longer time to do this, and I don't want to bore you, but I really do want to emphasize the section I'm doing here is the top two, which mostly this is what you see the most. Second would be this, or vice versa, depending what the angle of the bike. This is the third visual point. So I really like to put a lot of details to these main tubes because that's what people really look at and see. The forks, you know, are kind of lost with the wheel and the parts and so forth. So you're looking at the visual, artistic perspective of it. This is where most manufacturers spend a lot of money on design work. So when you're looking at these particular decaling and so forth, that's what's really trying to sell their brand. So as doing detailing, this is where you want to kind of add a little emphasis onto and bring out that paint and restore it there. So, all right, we got that part down. Now I'm going to dive into the polish and see what kind of shine we can get this into pop with. Using a polishing, white on white is, they color coded is what they do with the pads, with the, you know, the chemicals that do, not chemicals, but the polishes and so forth. Like I say, are chemicals, but that's it. To kind of make it simple, like you got the blue stuff, well, it goes with the blue stuff, you know, accessories. Some bike shops should probably use that too. But anyway, here we go. Alrighty, so here's a little trick is I need to color coat these so I don't mix them up. But I've been using different rags for different parts of this. And I have like this rag is for the compound. This one's for the polish. And then I have another one for the actual ceramic coating. So I'm not cross-contaminating these. And after I wash them or get new ones, I do the kind of same thing. So what I would suggest is get like 3 different colors so you know what stage of the game. If you're going to do it quite a bit, I mean, obviously, if you're just doing it once in a while, you don't need to do that. But if you're doing quite a few of them, or we just want to have a color-coded different one, fiber cloth to go with it, that's probably what I'd suggest. That way we're not cross-contaminating materials. And just in case like that one, I may have some grit on it. You don't want to be smashing grit right into something that you just polished up. So there we go. Alrighty. I think this is really coming to life. I mean, there's a little area here I want to work on a little bit more. Maybe I'll use some of the scratch and swirl to just try to buff this little area out a little bit better. Again, this is where I focus mostly on these 3 main tubes because of the reason I just mentioned, and we will dive into that. So I will dive into the rest of this frame and clean it, same process, but I'll do the ceramic coating right after this because it's sunny out and you actually can see stuff, so you'll see it in the sun as it dries. Yeah, check it out. So here we have it, all polished with compound. Did a lot more swirl action to get some of these scratches out. So hopefully you can see where I kind of, there's still a little there, but for the most part, they're going to be pretty much hidden by the polish. And man, look how pretty this has come out. Pretty amazing, actually, considering how scratched up and rough shape it was. And let's feature this fork that I worked on so diligently to paint. And I mean, it's not perfect. I didn't strip it. You still see a couple of the indentations on this from underneath coat, but it looks a hell of a lot better than it did. That's mainly what I was trying to do to get this thing to pop and look better than it was for sure. Well, so let's check out the ceramic. All right, another beautiful day in Colorado. I love having a south-facing garage in the wintertime. Kind of keeps the warmth in, makes it a little more doable doing this. In addition to, I get the sunny days. Oh, it's so nice. Yeah, I'm shooting in January if you don't know. And yeah, here we are, kind of warm in the front of the house. So I'm going to open up this package that I ordered from Adams Polishes, and what we got in here, if I remember correctly, I ordered the spray and the graphene spray here, coating, in addition to something else. It's been a couple of weeks. It's during the holidays. Surface prep. Decided to do a little surface prep too, to add to this. What else we got in here? Looks like 2 types of triggers. Looks like they left me some candies. I don't know if it is candy. Let's take a look. Adams Polishes. Looks like some mints. That's kind of cute, right? Cuteness thing. But anyway, 25% off the next order. Oh, look at that. I got a couple more stickers. Actually a receipt. So I paid, it was on sale, so I was able to get some discounting on it. The coating was, ceramic graphene coating was $29.99. Surface Plus was $5.99. And also got those applicators too for $5.99. So like stick these on my bench. Save that coupon for another purchase. Throw that all in there. I'll throw them all in there too. So what I saw in the video, these are the polish applicators, is you want to put it on here and then you wipe it on there. So So this package comes with, looks like 2 applicators. So I'm going to use one as, I think, a surface prep, or should I use cloth? I think I'll just use these for the ceramic coating. Oh, they have 2 different triggers. That's what this is. They got 2 different types. They have the tire prep one like this, which is gummed up. This one has a little trigger pull on there. Interesting to see. I'm not really sure. Neither of these go into that there. So I decided to grab, I'm not gonna, I got 2 of these, so I'm not gonna be able to figure out which one I did what without doing the sticker. So I have this guy from a different prep. So for doing the surface prep, I'm gonna use this guy first and using this kind of a fiber pad. And I'm just gonna kind of put a little bit on here and see how it does. The idea is just to, you know, clean the surface before I put the ceramic coating on there. Put this on here kind of quickly and give it a nice little clean surface to work off of. You get both sides, which, you know, sunlight makes it nice. Oh man, I can't believe how nice this paint job is popped. And I'm going to be coating pretty good underneath because the idea is for protection, where a lot of grime is from underneath, from road spray and so forth. Yeah, I want to protect the main frame, but honestly, when you're looking at road bikes, you want to protect the underneath portions of it. And I also saw a couple of videos how they apply this, and they kind of go pretty liberally on it to get it all ready to go. So apparently with the polish and everything, it doesn't look like there's a lot of material coming, you know, contaminants coming off of this, which is good, right? I mean, I don't want to be locking in dirt, but it is what it is, right? So that is, I would say, a good wipe down of the prep. Now, surface prep from Adams on that. Yeah, it sounds like a promo, but I just want to show you what I'm using. Honestly, I'm just going to use this one here to give me 2 different sprays. I don't need to spray. I'm not going to be spraying the frame. I'm going to be basically spraying the applicator and applying it. So I'll put that in there. Oh, actually, I must go to that one. Oop. Oop. Interesting enough. So apparently this guy, here's a conundrum. Well, the hose thing is too long. Let's fix that. All right. With those rude interruptions, I have to proceed now. I'm just kidding. Family and that. So I got this. It's too long. So what I decided to do is kind of match it up. Give a little bit of bend because you want to get the bottom portion of this. I'm going to use some snips here to get to the right length. And then proceed to put this in here. Okay, so apparently this guy goes to this one. Set that aside, try not to knock anything over. Apparently this guy goes onto this one, so I got to do the same thing here. So a little long. Now I cut it at an angle, so it does pick up a lot of that stuff. Boop. I will pick those up off the floor too. So I was kind of wondering that, but I noticed the hoses were like way long. It's like, does this apply to which one goes where? So there you go. So this will sit on my little bench. All right, let's check out what this stuff does. So the idea is you got a fiber block, and you can spray on the frame, which I'm not going to do that. Got to turn on the spray bottle first, right? Okay. So as in their videos from Adams, it's kind of just put it on the actual applicator and then just apply it. And what you're going to get is like this acetone kind of look to it. And, you know, considering this is a bicycle, you're probably not going to need, there's not a lot of surface area, right? So you're probably not going to use a lot of this stuff. So yeah, it's $30, but if you're not putting it on your car, it'll probably do several applications, multiples upon multiples. And what's nice about this, you can put it on your darker bits for protection, like, you know, stem, bars, stuff like that. Because I did it on trim on a lot of these car parts, you know, the trim wall and that kind of thing. So try to support this by just touching like dropouts while I'm applying this. And yeah, having a stand really helps out. You can see recommendations on my website on stands that I recommend that are affiliated, of course, to the, you know, YouTube game of affiliation with Amazon, that kind of deal. So instead of flipping this over like I would, you know, because I'm just going to step over to the other side. I'm probably putting on too much of this, but first go around. And with the other directions with other ones is like you want to do all the areas twice to give it a good coverage. Like so. And, you know, if you're doing it twice, the likelihood of you catching all of it is pretty high. It just smells chemically, nothing really too aromatic, nothing too stinky. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. Wow, it actually does make a kind of nice little sheen to it. So I'm trying to get all the underneath bits where, you know, the gunk and the spray and all that happens. So that's my one good application, I feel. Now let's do the second. And, you know, of course, if you're seeing me do this, you're like, you're doing it wrong. Go ahead and put it in the comments. I am always trying to improve what I do, as all of us should be always students to life. And also when it comes to bikes, it's constant learning, always. There's never a point when you're going to know everything 100%. All right, so we got some good coating going on here. Man, that really makes it look like butter. Holy crow. Wow. Yeah, and with frames versus cars, you get all these little nicks and crannies that you gotta, you know, dive into and get into. And for cleaning the bike, from polishing it to correcting the paint, to doing all that stuff. Yeah. So, there we go. There we have it. They say it's supposed to have like this acetone coloring to it, but since it has such angles, it's going to be kind of hard to see all that per se. All right, check it out. The coating's on there. You can see the high gloss. That's just really cool. And yeah, the chips and scratches are still there, but they really are protected and hidden and coated. So you can kind of see some of those paint chips that I painted. But definitely brings the frame out. And I did some pretty good work back here on some bits too. But if you look at it closely, I mean, you can see that shine off the sun, that silver gloss. And the paint, I mean, come on, original paint, the new paint, pretty darn close. I was pleasantly surprised, for sure. Looking on this side, yeah. That is something. So it's supposed to sit and dry for, I don't know, 5 minutes, whatever they said. But anywho, here we go. Pretty awesome. All right, after it dries, give it a good wipe down, and you'll feel a tack to it, and that tack will go away to smoothness. And that's what you're trying to do when you're wiping it down. And man, this is really just gotten really beautiful, amazing with the shine and the glitter. Yeah, it does, the blemishes are still there, but between all of the other cleaning and polishing, and it just kind of hides all the little devils that are trying to get out, right? And I painted the areas for frame protection as well as aesthetic. So I can't be even more pleased with the outcome on this. I mean, look at this. It's just, wow, amazing. The other products I've used would probably would have turned out to be pretty close to the same. They all the Kool-Aids that they have. I'm not paid to show this off. I decided to try it out because you guys reached out and like, hey, you should put a coating on there. What's the protection? So good point. So been wanting to do it, dived into it. Here we go. All right, now comes the fun part, putting all the parts back on and getting it back into a bicycle with wheels. Can't ride this, but put it on a wall. It's almost like art, right? Next. So when do you have those moments and you realize that you're recording a video and realize the record button wasn't turned on? Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't realize till about 3/4 of the way through putting this thing back together that I've missed the details of installing the crank, train, brakes, wheels. But anywho, it does have plenty of girth of the video of, beautiful detailing of the frame, which really is what I wanted to really highlight. In addition to putting this back together, there's a couple pieces that I had to, I would guess, upgrade. Well, this had mismatched wheels. They're both Mavic, but one was Syrian, one's Cosmos. Nah, not gonna work for me. If I have a matching set, I'm gonna replace that. So these got some Dura-Ace 10-speed wheels with Mavic Ultra Pro rims. Pretty decent upgrade there. Pretty much brand new gator skin tires. The rear derailleur was actually a triple on this guy, which was a double. This Ultegra 10-speed triple needs to go somewhere else. I found a Dura-Ace double that I put there to upgrade. Has Ultegra brakes, Ultegra shifters. The frame actually came out super beautiful in the sun. Got the ceramic coating or graphene coating. Oh, where did I put that? There it is. Got the graphene ceramic coating from Adams on this one. Super duper shine. Got a new saddle on there versus this beat up WTB saddle, which they're still good saddles, but it was just kind of scuffed up. Wanted something a little bit newer on there. I mean, the frame itself had its own little blemishes. I want to take everything out that I can, blemish wise. So yeah, it is rock solid. Let's just say that. This particular bike put me back a lot of time, which you're lucky for whoever is getting this bike. I really love working on bikes, and yeah, I typically don't want to spend that much time on a bike, but anywho, I really do like the LeMond carbon frames, LeMond bikes themselves, and bring this thing back up to a level of beauty in addition to high function and ready to just hit the road for thousands of miles to come for whoever is going to get this beautiful 55 centimeter full carbon LeMond. Anyway, yeah, this bike was actually really a joy. Between, standard pedals, cables, and cables and housing and bar tape, in addition to wheel set upgrade, rear derailleur, new saddle. When you're looking at this bike, what I purchased for, I think 400-ish, if I remember off the top of my head, it was a little while ago, used, and it was pretty rough. And if you were buying these parts separately, used or new, and also labor to put on there, it would have been easily up into the 600 price range. So yes, we're right at that $1,000 mark on this particular bike, but this bike with Ultegra on it, 10-speed, full carbon frame and fork with Dura-Ace hubs and rear derailleur, it will blow the doors off of, I would say, even 2,000 to 2,500 new bike, if not more. Reason being, this is one level top to middle, or top and one step down in componentry. Top of line wheels, awesome carbon frame and fork. Carbon fiber doesn't break down or lose its legit, the stiffness and all that. It actually performs infinite life cycle on them. That Trek has tested carbon back in the 90s, so there is some data on that somewhere, I'm sure. But in any case, this thing is rock solid. And for 900 to 1,000 used, this bike is a great jump up for somebody that may have just bought a $400 or $500 used bike and just is ready for the next level. This is the next level. And from there, well, you got to start saving your pennies for the next level above that, because that's when you're going to be looking into either disc or electric shifting or electric assist. That's where the kind of next iteration would be over this, which is a pretty big jump. Even in the used market, those particular bikes don't start about 2,000 or 3,000 anyway for decent ones. And obviously, if you're going to throw $1,000 into a bike or $3,000 in a bike, you probably want to have the best possible bike there is. In most cases, in that range, it's still going to be used. And that's where the Pro's Closet kind of fits in, or bike shops that do those higher end refurbished bikes, which might be not as old, within 5 to 10 years. But in any case, to entry level to next step up for somebody to get into road riding, this is going to be one rock solid ride for somebody. I'm excited to see who gets this. Anywho, thank you for spending time with me in the garage. If it's beautiful in your neck of the woods, go for a ride. If you like these videos, smash the buttons. Shameless plug. There's also t-shirts like this in the merch shelf below, which is right below, down there. Anyway, thank you for hanging out with me in the garage. Until next time, have a wonderful day.